During this year's, from last year, June 2023 to now, a little bit shorter of a year of time, have you seen the great awakening in terms of the great, most existential threats that the CCP pose to this nation? Have you seen the reaction from your constituents or potential voters?
Well, one of the beauties of running in Texas, especially now, especially with Donald Trump, hopefully being on the ballot and hopefully being our president, is that it's awakened a populist base the likes of which we have never seen. And populism is a good thing. There's a pride that we have, which is soundly now rejecting the tyranny over the last couple of years, which I argue was in large part due to the efforts of the Chinese Communist Party and specifically the MSS. One of the cool things is I'm going around and I'm speaking to people about secret Chinese biolabs. I was just doing an event this morning, which is why I was rushing to get back here for the interview. And I was speaking about these biolabs, the fact that you have people who have even been running secret police stations across the United States at the behest of the CCP, and they're out that afternoon. Or a lot of people here in Texas are actually concerned about the CCP not only buying farmland, but also buying land next to very sensitive government installations and places where you really wouldn't want any foreign government, let alone the CCP, and yet they're in the thick of it. We're seeing in Congress where people like Darrell Issa are actually questioning the fact that Huawei is the #2 most requested patents in the United States government. It's a company with zero brick and mortar here, and specifically, why are they the #2 most patents that are applied for in the U.S. Patent Office, specifically in the 5G and telecom space? People are waking up to the fact, everyday Americans, that our intellectual property is being stolen. And let me tell you something that hits very close to home. I just met a candidate this morning, and man, her story affected me so deeply. I don't want to say her name, but her 35-year-old son died from fentanyl. And fentanyl poisoning is an issue in the smallest town in my district to the largest towns. And every single place I've been to has had some death because of fentanyl. 10 miles away from where I live in Carrollton, an elementary school kid died from fentanyl. And the awareness is rising that, hey, the Mexican cartels are using Chinese chemists that are basically agents of the CCP, and the CCP is supplying them the raw chemicals to make fentanyl. And this is a serious concern. So yeah, people are not only waking up to it, but they're also actively pushing back against it. You've seen what Governor Abbott has done as far as limiting the sale of farmland to CCP-owned corporations or holding companies. And we're seeing finally an awakening, if you will, in the year of the dragon. The sleeping dragon of the United States is waking up against the specter of the CCP in the East.